I think that the law can be a great tool to achieve social justice, and I've definitely found that my clinical work at HLS has proven that.
It's tough to explain in words how amazing it felt to basically be pursuing my dream of working in sports and seeing what it was like firsthand.
The clinics really gave me a holistic and practical understanding of what it means to be a true child advocate working on behalf of children and upholding their rights.
The best way to master a skill isn't just to talk about the skill and to read about the skill and to think about the skill, but it's actually to practice the skill and have to do so in a real situation involving a real client with real stakes. It is in that crucible that students will learn the most about what it takes to be an outstanding lawyer, and they'll also learn about themselves.
I came with the purpose of wanting to further pursue studies in children's rights and child protection. I continuously came across instances where legal frameworks existed, but the rights and protections that I so believed that children were entitled to were being violated nonstop, and I couldn't really understand why. The Human Rights Clinic and the Child Advocacy Clinic, in my opinion, really complemented each other well, because I wanted to not only understand international human rights and children's rights, but also the domestic system. If it wasn't for the Child Advocacy Clinic, I would not have been able to really explain my understanding of what the system here looks like, especially in Massachusetts, but also sort of generally within the United States when it comes to the different systems that work on children.
I worked in eviction prevention and homelessness prevention, and I really enjoyed that work. And I thought that if I could educate myself and learn a lot about it, then I could also help people facilitate and navigate that system easier. I had sent clients to HLab. I knew that they did really great work, and they were generally taking cases that a lot of other legal aid and pro bono service providers were not able to provide. So I knew that HLab would be a place that I wanted to come even before I came to the law school.
What I think separates Harvard's clinical opportunities from other law schools is the sheer number of clinical opportunities available to students. During my law school experience, I worked my 2L J term at the legal office of the National Football League. I worked my 3L J term in the baseball operations department at the Minnesota Twins. I've been able to kind of try different types of law, see what litigation is like, see what transactional work is like, see what IP work is like.
It was really important to me to provide students with an experience that they won't get during law school unless they're in the clinic, and they won't get for several years after law school either. And that is to really learn what it's like to practice law and really experience working with other professionals, whether the others are clients or experts in a field that touches on their projects, or government officials or other decision makers.
Students have had a dedicated clinical instructor who has been matched with them, who is really focused on who is this student as a professional? What are their strengths? How can we bring those out? What are their weaknesses? What are the things that they love to do? What are the things that they find challenging? And could the things they find challenging become things that they love to do with the right sort of support?
Sometimes students come in with a very particular idea of who they want to be or what they want to do. But when a student comes to me and says, I can't do work for this client because I'm not technical enough, or I can't do work for this client because I've never taken copyright. For me, those are opportunities to push students to challenge themselves. I've had students show up in my office and be like, I just really think I'm not getting X. And then I'm like, well, all right, let me email my fellow clinicians. Let's go find you some X, right? Like, let's go figure out some way for you to get more client contact. Let's go figure out some way for you to get more experience working on briefs or litigation.
Your clinical instructor is always in the court with you. So just in case you get nervous, or just in case you don't know how to answer the question, they know everything about the case as well, and they're standing right there.
They care very, very deeply both about their students and our clients, and it shows, and they very much lead by example. They also tell us, you are this person's attorney, and you're the one who's going to be doing the oral arguments, you're the one who's going to be cross-examining the officers, you're the one who's going to be filing and drafting the motions.
One of my favorite cases that I was able to work on was with a young girl from Brazil who came to the US to live with her godmother because she was abused, abandoned, and neglected by her parents. I think one of the most exciting aspects of that case for me is working with a young person with so much passion who wanted to be in this country, who wanted to flee a very violent part of the world, being able to file a motion for special findings with a legal memorandum and to go into the Suffolk court, a family and probate court, and to argue a motion in front of a judge. And I had learned so much up to that point in terms of organizing a case file and writing an affidavit that was true to her experience, being able to go to that court and argue something with my client by my side, answering questions, and to be able to get that order of special findings and then to pass that on to a partner organization that ended up helping her process her I-360, and now she's a resident of this country. It's just been a really exciting and meaningful experience for me as a student attorney, and it was a huge team effort and something I'm incredibly proud of.
In the wake of Hurricane Maria in September of last year, Professor Andrew Crespo from the law school reached out to me, and we started this project to support Puerto Rico. It's been very emotional for me because I'm from Puerto Rico, and the hurricane really devastated the island on many levels. It's estimated $90 billion of damages. 18 of us will be working on legal assistance type of FEMA work, FEMA claims and insurance claims, maybe issues with contractors and other types of issues. It's really been a labor of love. OCP really brought amazing institutional knowledge and experience, including experience working Katrina recovery efforts.
Our clients are facing some of the most oppressive, opaque, racist, classist, convoluted systems that exist, particularly through the Immigration and Refugee Clinic, through the Criminal Justice Institute, through the Prison Legal Assistance Project. Our clients are fighting an uphill battle every day. Through the Prison Legal Assistance Project, I had the opportunity to handle an impact litigation case. The case went up to the Supreme Judicial Court, and so I was able to argue before the justices on this prisoners' rights and disability rights issue. We won the case, and it now set precedent for all of Massachusetts prisoners, and now the Americans with Disabilities Act applies to parole hearings. And my client is always talking about how happy he is, and I'm able to tell him, you helped so many people in Massachusetts. It's because of you that now all of these people are able to cite to your case in their parole hearings and say that they can't be discriminated against because of their disability.
It was fascinating when we took the trips to, for example, Myanmar with the Human Rights Clinic. There were HLS alumni that were already working there with different organizations, and some we worked with directly on our projects, and others provided us with a better understanding of the local context that really informed the work we were doing. And it was empowering to see other HLS graduates, especially those who had taken the same clinics that I have, working in the field, and to see that, oh, that's what I might be doing going forward as well.
I can think of 10 teams right now that have in-house lawyers that are graduates of this law school, and specifically graduates of the sports law program here at HLS in recent years. It's one of the reasons why the program is growing so quickly, is because when students start leaving the law school after a few years, they make their way to leagues and teams. They feel kind of a desire to repay Harvard and Harvard students because they know how much they got out of the experience.
It can be hard to feel part of the Harvard Law School alumni community because it's so vast, and so having these smaller communities, these shared experiences create these natural bridges that I've seen help people both professionally and personally.
Finding a group of students who share your values and your interests is just really wonderful.
I've been blessed to meet some of my best friends on this campus through Defenders.
I found that the clinic was really my home at the law school, like nowhere else.
I think that has really shaped my law school experience as well, to have these communities through my clinics, and I've developed some of the closest friendships that I have in law school through them, and it's been really great.